Hey everybody, welcome to another Let's Talk About video, and today's topic is Scooby Doo and the Backstage Rage, the fan film that I've reacted to the trailer and the sneak peeks. Basically, I've been working on this video for quite a long time, but if you don't know what this fan film is, it's basically based off the Scooby Doo Where Are You episode, which is season 1 episode 9 called the Backstage Rage, where Scooby and Shaggy witness a crime happening and then the gang go and investigate this theatre to follow up on the crime that Shaggy witnessed that was so suspicious at the start of the episode, and then they find out that whole counterfeit operation is going on and that the main villain is this guy called Pietro, which is basically the puppet master, and he's basically doing a counterfeit operation. I love how they're doing this episode. Out of all the episodes they could have chose from, they're doing this particular one, which is great in a fan film because you're going to get some more explicit dialogue, because you've got to understand now they have so much to work with. Because if you look at Scooby Doo Mystery Incorporated, and then we've got the Be Cool Scooby Doo, and even Scooby and Shaggy Get a Clue, those have all explored new variations of Scooby Doo and the gang. So it's good to see that this fan film is going to be keeping on to the traits of the 80s, but it's also going to be using some elements from the new existing films called Be Cool Scooby Doo or Mystery Incorporated, and a bit of Scooby Doo and Shaggy Get a Clue. So with that, we're going to see more personality from the gang. So we're going to get some more dialogue with Daphne, we're going to get some more context with Velma. Fred's going to be a big trapper expert, because we all know that when he was doing that in Mystery Incorporated, he was amazing, and then in Be Cool Scooby Doo he was basically a mad leader, like he always had to be in charge. So they're going to exploit those key elements that they have, their own personal characteristics that we all like now, that should have been in the 80s style. Because I remember the episode well, because I remember the briefcase full of counterfeit money, and it was shaped like a violin, and I've always remembered singing loads of violins because it's been played in so many other movies, but I just remember from the one episode from Scooby Doo that I remember the most, which you would have thought would have been the first episode, but no, I remember the Backstage Rage, but I just forgot about the name of the episode. So when I found out it's based off the episode, I had to rewatch the episode, and I understand that they could do more with it, because the opening scene to the Backstage Rage could have been more well plotted, because you just see Scooby and Shaggy walking with the pizza box. There's no actually extended dialogue, it just says that they went to Pizza Palace, but we could have seen a scene from them ordering at Pizza Palace. So a movie will be longer, which will have lots more filler, and that's what I love about movies. When they do adaptations of certain episodes or key moments, they can just add more dialogue, whereas an episode, it has to be short and quick to the point, and that's what this fan film is hoping to be based on. Now, I have been in contact with the creator of the fan film, and he has given me explicit dialogue on not only just the characters that are going to be in this film, because you would have thought that it would have been like a small cast, because in the episode it's only technically the gang members of Mystery Inc. Then you got Pietro, and then we got the police officer. Those are really the characters that are more focused on in that episode. So in the fan film there's a lot more characters, and there's a lot more fan art as well. So at the end of the video I will be showing you the artwork for the characters that will be in this fan film, and then I'll go over explicit dialogue of what these characters are and what could they possibly bring to the table. But first, let's dive in. So with all the information I've gathered and what I've illustrated and what I've managed to put out into a good storyboard bit, I can confirm that we are going to get returning characters from previous Scooby-Doo installments. So we're going to get Flim Flam making an appearance, we've got Mary Jane making an appearance, we have the Red Harry making an appearance. There's also going to be nods to other characters in the Hanna-Barbera universe, so maybe it might be Captain Caveman. That could be a good appearance, just throw that in there, because they did crossover before. People don't know about, but there was. And if you guys remember the pup named Scooby Doo, then you would have remembered Shaggy had a sister, and I believe it was Shuggy or something like that one.
Norville, could you be like a dear and drop Shuggy off at the new babysitters? Here's the address.
No sweat, Mom. This is right near the movie theater.
Let go bye-bye.
Really odd, but she would make an appearance, obviously grown up, because Pup Named Scooby Doo was where they were kids, which made no sense to the actual storyline because it just made things more complicated. So I don't really class Pup Named Scooby Doo anywhere on the Scooby Doo timeline. I just think it's BS. Now, as this is a fan film, he is going to make some changes to the story. So it is going to be set in modern time, but it's going to keep that same 80s horror vibe and that same atmosphere that we all grew up from. So not really that much is going to change. The only thing is that it's going to set in this time period. So they might have smartphones, they might have tablets, better computers and stuff like that. But that's the only gimmick that you're going to see. So other than that, I don't think that it's going to get ruined at all. I think it's going to be even better, which is going to be great. Now, I don't know what kind of soundtrack he's going to be putting in, because I don't know if he's going to get stuff remastered or if he's going to get own adaptations of it, because you can't really use the old music soundtracks from Scooby Doo because they're all copyrighted now. But I'm guessing he will probably get someone recreating them so it's all royalty free. If that does happen, hopefully it's a good composer, hopefully they nail it on the head. I still think the old Scooby-Doo theme songs and the old like spooky music in the background was more better for the atmosphere at the time. But as soon as they got older, more kids of the generation were used to this peace and quiet and tone to some of the atmospheres that you see in Scooby-Doo episodes, which is alright. But at the same time, we want that build-up, we want that atrocity, we want to make sure that when we come to the conclusion, it's going to hype the moment. So it just gradually peaks us up, and then when we get it, it nails it. Where Are You did a great job on that. Since I've loved the Mystery Incorporated and the Be Cool Scooby Doo, the one thing I really wanted, and which others will agree, is that Daphne needed to keep her personality from those episodes, because we want the Daphne hijinks back. We want her to do the puppets, we want her to do 007 Daphne. They just brought something new and funny to each episode, and they made me laugh all the time, and I'm like an adult and I'm still laughing, and technically a kid's show, because that's what Scooby-Doo is always aimed at for a younger audience, but even I as an adult still find the humour funny. So Daphne in a safe spot is still going to be the same that we all know and love, except that she's going to have her own hijinks from the Be Cool Scooby-Doo and her own personality from the Mystery Incorporated. So you're not going to lose any of that. You're going to get more additional dialogue with Daphne, which is going to be great.
Okay, Fred, like there's good news and bad news. The good news is they had one hot dog left. The bad news is Scoob ate it.
I regret nothing.
Huh? Did you just call me Fred? Oh, right, of course. Duh. Probably because I'm inexplicably dressed exactly like Fred. See, recently I've been a little hard on Fred, telling him to lighten up, be more open-minded, less controlling, blah, blah. It's gotta annoy him. Then it hit me. Maybe it's me who needs to understand Fred. You know, walk a mile in his ascot.
So, let me get this straight. To stop annoying Fred, you're going to become Fred, which is guaranteed to annoy Fred?
What's going on?
And speaking of Daphne and her hijinks, her friends are back, the Hex Girls, yes. If it's Dawn, Luna, and Dusk, I think that's it. I'm going to check.
12 seconds later.
Yeah, Fawn, Dusk, Luna. I was right, okay? There's the proof on the pudding.
You're a fucking idiot.
But since there'll be like a new version of the Hex Girls, hopefully there might be a few Hex Girls songs, because it's a theatre, so obviously the Hex Girls are going to be playing at this theatre. It's a must-have. If the Hex Girls were in the Where Are You, they would have definitely been playing there, but they never got introduced till The Witch's Ghost. So that whole atrocity of that theatre was never properly used. And I think for the Hex Girls, they could have used that entire theatre for a wicked song. And if you remember Mystery Incorporated, Daphne did a song with the Hex Girls called Trap of Love.
Love, snared by desire.
definitely that should make it a reappearance. I'm just saying, even if it's like not part of the fan film, just hinting, you could just do it for the fans. We want to see a rendition too. I'm just saying. And now let's talk about the location. Now obviously we know where the theatre is because we saw the episode. But where's the gang going to be residued? Well, it's in Coolsville. Coolsville is back. So that means that the theatre is going to be close to Coolsville, but not too far away. So it's in the vicinity of their home. And since the gang's still going to school in this fan film, we get to see them take their daily lives. So we don't really know how they're going to lead to the theatre, but if I had to give a guess with what I got so far, they go to high school. They're obviously friends with the Hex Girls. They have to go to the same school. And then they're going to meet up and basically say we're performing at this theatre, and that's how it starts. And that's how it starts. And then it starts with Fawn saying, oh, it's haunted. And Fred's like, I'm on it. And he has given me some additional dialogue, which I'm going to read out for you. So, the gang is not called a Mystery Incorporated, they're called the Mystery 5. Why not call the movie, instead of calling it Backstage Rage, call it the Mystery 5? Because calling it the Backstage Rage is basically, it feels like an episode title, but if they call it the Mystery 5, then it's going to be based on the episode. That would be a better title. Scooby Doo, the Mystery 5. Ooh, it just has a sound to it. God, they should have used that instead of Mystery Incorporated. And with this movie, he wants to push the boundaries, become experimental, trippy, scary, so he's going for that horror vibe. You remember Zombie Island? That was the first, in fact, that was the only Scooby Doo horror movie of its time. And even though it technically was not a horror movie, it technically was at the same time, we just didn't realise it. Because it had so much more mixed reviews from kids and adults at the time. So I say it is a horror. People say it's not because it's never rated as a horror. But if you watch Scooby-Doo and basically pinpoint it from a kid's perspective, it's technically a horror. But he also wants to stay true to the spirits and the heart of the franchise, but take his own fresh on this one. So he's still taken to the boundaries. He has not gone off the rails. He's even said, right a second, no Scrappy Doo. If that's not deserved like a thumbs up, I don't know what it is. 5 out of 5, okay? He's nailed it. No Scrappy Doo. It's a miracle. It's like I died and went to puppy heaven. And to end it off, there is an age rating for this movie. The age rating is PG-13. So that way the parents can't complain. And that way the comment section can't complain that it's going to be too gory or too gruesome or too violent. He's rated at PG-13, which I think is great. Particularly, you can go up a little bit higher to 18. I don't mind a bit more blood and gore. You can add a scene where Scrappy Doo makes the appearance through the door and just gets his head decapitated. That would be great. Just murder him straight off there. Best way to start the movie. Scrappy Doo says, "Ba-da-da!" Kill him. Best start up to any movie. Think about it. And the total runtime hasn't actually been fully announced, but there's an estimate between 80 and 100 minutes. So you're getting a well over a good hour and a half for this film. Now, when I did my reaction of not only the trailer, but I also did it of the sneak peek, the style of animation, now that was good because I love the 2D style work, because I really gone bored of 3D because I just feel like it's like well overused. Not many people stick to a 2D aspect of when you're doing these sort of like animations. Is really good, and Where Are You capitalised on that because it crossed between a 2D and a 3D illusion. It's okay to do a 3D illusion with 2Ds, but going all the way and doing it 3D is a bit over the top. He also wants to do it so that people have to keep rewatching it to find new stuff, because there's going to be a load of Easter eggs, and that means I'm going to be... By God, we've been watching this countless of times to find every little Easter egg from every Scooby-Doo reference, and then find out that most of those Easter eggs aren't just Scooby-Doo related, they're from other crossovers. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of those scattered across out, but it's going to be a quest to find all of them. But like an achievement, like find 120 and get a gold star. That is the information that I was able to get, and I didn't want to get too much because it would then bore the hype for this film. I want it to be exciting. I want it to build up the hype, so we don't get like spoiled too much. And there are more sneak peeks. There are more because I've got to react to some, and I just haven't had time lately. So I've been working on this video, which took me for ages to get time off work just to film and record. I'm doing it late at night, so it's really hard and stressful. But now we go into the character description. Now we already know about the main cast, so we won't have to talk about Shaggy Rogers, Scooby Doo, Fred Jones, Daphne Blake, and Velma Dinkley. I love doing that. But there are gonna be other characters. So if you don't know about Fawn, Dust and Luna, they are technically the Hex Girls, but there's not really much controversy about them in their own separate terms. So Fawn, the close childhood friend to Shaggy, whom he has pushed away and tries to get close with him again throughout the entire film. That from there is basically what Fawn is in the fan film. Dusk is the tomboy with no filter and another childhood friend of Shaggy's. Luna, the chill and the laid back gal who's also the childhood friend of Shaggy. So in the fan film, Shaggy is best friends with the Hex Girls, whereas in The Witch's Ghost it was portrayed differently. They met up with the Hex Girls. Now we all know about Mr. Pietro. He's basically the owner of the theatre and also the mastermind behind the entire evil organisation that is trying to counterfeit money. Now we move on to officers of the law. I will have to say this, there was a bit of controversy that I want to point out there. It's good that we've got these officers, but there's one officer that I want you to put into this. A particular sheriff. Someone who's brave, noble, doesn't really have a first name, but has a last name. You know, he was always criticising the gang, but when he needed them, he was all cushy. Yeah, we want that sheriff, okay? We want him back. He needs to be in this fan film. But anyhow, while we wait for the mysterious sheriff to appear, whoever he may be, let's have a look at his deputies. Starting with Officer John, a rookie cop who closer to the same age of the Mystery Five and also likes to help with the gang on their mysteries from time to time. He's also dating Cross, the daughter of the Chief Officer Rum. Then we have Officer Cross, which is also dating Officer John. Let's not get confused now. The girlfriend of John and the daughter of Rum, she's unsure about the Mystery Five, but John and Rum and most of the police are now supporting the team mystery solving squad. Then we go on to Mr. Rum himself. Not this rum, I just want to drink this rum, but you get the idea. Cheers. And technically I'm not drinking the job because I don't get paid for this.
Meanwhile,
the leader of the Coolsville Police Department. Clearly he is no sheriff, and the sort of Commissioner Gordon type to the Mystery Five. Ah, okay.
a few inches later.
But he's still no sheriff. Then it's the Puppet Phantom, a mysterious figure who's been connected to the disappearance of citizens of Coolsville, turning them all into puppet figures. I have no idea if that's the plot or what he's doing, but if it was, that's great. I'm nailing it on these guesses, and that definitely should be in there. He's a puppet, he should have puppet powers, just turning you into puppets. I wouldn't mind being a pull string puppet. I'm just saying. I wouldn't mind having a woody pull string. You know, you could dance me around and then pull my string and there's a snake in my boot. Then we have another puppet called Johnny, a creepy looking puppet not to be trusted with. He should be best friends with Shaggy. Now we have the Rogers. Silver Moon Rogers and Star Wolf Rogers. Silver Moon Rogers, the happy and jolly mother of Shaggy who loves to call her Sunflower. And then we have Star Wolf, a bit like Star-Lord, except not cooler. It's the father of Shaggy who gets into some quirky hijinks like a lot. Quirky could mean anything, okay? It could mean, I'm not even going to go there, but I'm just saying. There's not a lot of dialogue on the Star Wolf Rogers. Maybe he is part of the Guardians of the Galaxy in this universe? I have no idea. And we've already talked about Shaggy's sister at the start of this video. If you watched the pup named Scooby Doo, you would then realise that Shaggy had a younger sister, but then she was never actually referenced in the later Scooby Doo installments, which is quite sad really, but I'm glad this fan film is actually bringing her back into the fold. And then we have the Mr. McKnight and the Mrs. McKnight, basically the father and mother to Fawn. The dad is protective, way overprotective, so he's probably going to be getting in the middle once he sees Shaggy getting close to his Fawny. Just saying. And then we have Donna Jones, which is basically Fred's little sister, who loves to spend time with her big brother and is happy all the time. I didn't know Fred had a sister. Maybe it was in Pup Named Scooby Doo, but I couldn't actually remember it. I remember Shaggy had a sister, I just didn't think Fred had a sister, because it's Fred. And if you watch Mystery Incorporated, he didn't have a sister then. Then again, he was in the alternate timeline for the beginning of the series until the end, so maybe he did in that one? I have no idea. But then you got Be Cool Scooby Doo, and that didn't answer anything. So, it's like flipping a coin. You got to take your pick. Like I said at the start, there are some posters and some character designs which I will be showing in sort of like a montage slideshow at the end, so stick forward for that. My thoughts on the entire fan film: I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's very well played out. We got the greatest episode ever, series 1, episode 9 of Scooby Doo Where Are You? We got a good scenery. It's an abandoned theatre. We got the Puppet Master, plus there's another puppet. And you got to understand, if you watch Goosebumps, puppets are dangerous. I'm just saying, they are dangerous. The only things that I would say that would improve it is bring back Sheriff from Mystery Incorporated, because he was just like, he just made it so complete. He was that odd one out that's just made it a heck of a lot more funnier than it should have. Mayor Jones should make an appearance just for old time's sake, just for nostalgic, because pretty much seeing him in the Backstage Rage would be hilarious. But it's still a work in progress, so there's always going to be stuff coming in, new information surfacing. There's new sneak peeks already, which I've already scheduled to do reactions videos to him. So there's a lot more stuff for this fan film. The only bit is I don't have a release date, so I can't really give you any information like that, but I can help you where to find the fan page. Links will be in the description, and go over there and like the fan page, follow it, and support the channels as well, because I will link his YouTube channel, because I believe Scooby Doo deserves more fan art, because this creativity, the amount of work going into this is astonishing. He has new voice actors playing new characters. It's gonna blow, okay? This is gonna be the first Scooby Doo fan film that's gonna make it big. That's all I'm saying. And who knows, maybe Scooby Doo might actually see it and actually make a Backstage Rage movie or something. If they do, that'd be great. I think the title should be changed. It shouldn't be Scooby Doo and the Backstage Rage. It should be Scooby Doo and the Mystery 5. And then underneath, in small brackets, based on the Backstage Rage. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this Let's Talk About video. If you did, please leave a like, comment and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, make sure on post notifications by ticking that bell to keep updated when I post new and exciting videos. Check links in the description, and I'll see you next time. But until then, take care.